Welcome students. India has always been primarily an agricultural country. Agriculture was known to the people thousands of years ago. Even today, 70% of our population is engaged directly or indirectly in agriculture. So our today's topic is from chapter number 1, Crop Production and Management of Class-Viii Science NCERT textbook. Till 10,000 BC, people were nomadic. They used to wander in groups from place to place in search of food and shelter. They used to eat raw fruits, vegetables, hunt animals for food. Later, they could cultivate land and produce rice, wheat, and other food crops. And in this way, the agriculture was born. Now, what is agriculture? The practice of farming, including cultivation of the crops for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products. Now, you will think, what is crop? So, when plants of same kind are grown and cultivated at one place in a large scale, it is called a crop. Crops can be classified into two types based on the season in which they are grown. Kharif crop and Rabi crop. Let us learn the difference between Kharif and Rabi crops. The Kharif crops are grown in the rainy season. Sowing of seed are done in the beginning of monsoon season, that is in the month of June. Harvesting is done by the end of monsoon season, that is in the month of September. Examples are rice, maize, soya bean, groundnut, cotton, jowar and bajra. The rabi crops are grown in the winter season. Sowing is done in the beginning of the winter season, that is in the month of October. Harvesting is done by the end of winter season, that is in the March. Examples are wheat, barley, gram, potato, pea, mustard and linseed. Students, you see, soil is very important for agriculture. It is the soil from which the plants will derive nutrition. It will also help in cloud formation and water cycle because from the soil also the water will be evaporated. Soil gives shelter to numerous insects and earthworms. Construction materials are also received from the soil, and soil also helps in purification of water bodies. Now the agricultural practices has got 8 different steps. The first is soil preparation, under which comes plowing and leveling. Second is the selection and sowing of seed. Third is adding manure and fertilizer. Fourth is the irrigation. Fifth is weeding of crops. Sixth is harvesting. Seventh is threshing. And eighth is the storage. Let us discuss each of these steps one by one in detail. Preparation of soil. It is the first step in growing the crops. It is important to turn the soil and loosen it. This helps the root to penetrate deep into the soil. It also allows the root to breathe easily even when it grows deep into the soil. It helps in the growth of earthworms and microbes present in the soil. The humus, which is formed by decomposing plants and animals, are also mixed properly in the soil. The process of loosening and turning the soil is called tilling or ploughing. Ploughing is done using a plough. In this image, you can see a traditional plough. The plough has got a long handle which is called as the shaft, and to this shaft is attached a wooden body, and the pointed part of this wooden body is covered with a metal like iron, and it is pointed, which is called as the share. Another tool used for loosening the soil is a hoe. It can also be used to remove the weed. Students, this is a hoe. The bent plate is used for digging the ground and it is attached to a rod. To the rod, a beam is attached so that it can give us a proper hold of this rod. There is also a handle and grip so that if we want to hold the hoe, we can do it easily. Nowadays, plowing is done by tractor-driven cultivators. It saves time and labor. This is a cultivator. You can see the pointed bent rods which will plow the soil. This is attached to the tractor and it will be pulled by the tractor. So we can see a bigger area can be plowed in less time. The second practice is the sowing, which means to plant seeds in the soil. But before sowing, it is important to select good quality seeds or seeds which give a high yield. For this, we put all the seeds into water, and whatever will be floating should be discarded. Only the settled down seeds will be collected for sowing. Now students, note down that damaged seed become hollow and are thus lighter. They float on water. The tools used for sowing are first seed funnel. It is used in traditional method. Here we can see that the farmers have attached a seed funnel to the plow and through the funnel one seed at a time will be put into it. You can see the real image. The seed funnel is attached to the plow here. Second is the seed drill. It is the method which is used in modern techniques. And here we can see a large number of funnels are attached to one single machine. And it is pulled by the tractor. So we can sow many rows of crop at a single time. The third technique is the adding manure and fertilizers. The substances which are added to the soil in the form of nutrients for the healthy growth of plant are called manures and fertilizers. Continuous growing of crop makes the soil poorer and in certain nutrients. Therefore, farmers have to add manures or fertilizers. The difference between manure and fertilizers are listed below. When we talk about the fertilizers are commercially available plant nutrients. They can be organic or inorganic. They ensure healthy growth and development of the plant. Then the addition of fertilizer in the soil comes with a special guidelines and that needs to be followed as prescribed, and the fertilizer does not provide any humus in the soil and it may also cause water pollution. While talking about the manure, it is a natural substance which is prepared by decomposition of animal excreta and plant waste. Manure is known to have large quantity of organic materials and they are organic matters and they are rich in all kinds of nutrients. In addition to manure, they also improves the texture and the fertility of the soil by including humus in the soil. Now, these are some examples of manures that are used: vermicompost, green manure, and these are some of the fertilizers, the urea and ammonium sulfate. Irrigation is the next step, the supply of water to land or crops to help growth. Irrigation is important because water is absorbed along with minerals and nutrients present in the soil through the roots of the plant. Seed germination will not take place in dry conditions. Water protects the crop from both frost and hot air currents. It maintains the moisture of the soil. Sources of irrigation. As you can see in this picture, water is collected from the nearby river and through canals it will be reached into the nearby fields and into the cities. Also, various pumps and wells are built in order to irrigate the land. Thus, if we have to denote through a pie chart, we will see that their sources of irrigation are canals, tanks, tube wells or wells, and also rainfall There are traditional and modern methods of irrigation. Traditional irrigation methods do not apply the use of electricity or any form of energy, whereas modern irrigation methods require the use of electricity. Traditional irrigation methods include moat, which is also called as pulley system. As we can see, the water is pulled out of the well and through canals will reach into the field. Chain pump, in which the two wheels will be connected, and in between the wheels the buckets will be connected through the chains, which will pull the water to the required area. Next is dhekli, in which we see that from the well or any other water source, it will be pulled out with the help of a bucket. Next is the rahat, which is also called as the lever system, in which the animals are used to pull the lever in order to get constant source of water. Under the modern irrigation systems is the sprinkler system. From any water source, extensive network of pipelines are connected, and at the end of each pipeline there will be sprinklers attached which will supply water to the crops. Next is the drip system. In this also a very extensive network of pipelines are placed, and each pipeline will drip the water drop by drop to the roots of each plant. Protection of weed is the next step. Weeds are undesirable plants that grow in the agricultural fields along with the crop. Removal of weed is called weeding. Weeding is necessary because weeds compete with crop plants for water, nutrients, sunlight, and space. Some weeds will interfere during harvesting. Some weeds may be poisonous for animals and human beings. Farmers adopt many methods for weeding. Tilling before sowing of crops helps in uprooting any weed. Weeds are removed before they produce flowers. Hand picking is done. A seed drill may be used to uproot the weeds. Chemicals such as weedicide, for example 2,4-D, are also used. The tools that are used for weeding are as follows. Khurpi. Students, you must be able to identify this. This is a simple khurpi, also a seed drill, which is used during sowing time, and it is attached with a tractor. This can also uproot the weeds. By spraying weedicides, we can see the farmers that they are spraying chemicals which are weedicide, and they will kill the weeds. Next step is the harvesting. The cutting of a crop after it is matured is called harvesting. Harvesting can be done either manually or by using a sickle. This is a sickle. Harvester is a machine which can be used for cutting the crops. We can see that this machine has got some blades which can cut the crops. After harvesting is done, the grain seeds need to be separated from the chaff. This process is called threshing. A thresher machine is used for threshing. This is a thresher machine which works on the principle that when the grains are inserted from one side, the chaff will get separated from the grains. Many times, harvesting and threshing can be done with the same machine at the same time with the help of combine. So combine is a machine in which the harvesting also can be done, and also the thresher machine is attached to it. So threshing is also done at the same time. Farmers with small land holdings do the separation of grains and chaff by winnowing. Students, you must be able to identify this. This is the process of winnowing in which air blows and removes the lighter chaff particles. Now here also the winnowing can be done with a winnower machine. On an average, it takes 3 to 4 months for a cereal crop plant to mature and harvest. The sight of golden fields of standing crops laden with grains filled the heart of farmers with joy and sense of well-being. The period of harvest is thus of great joy and happiness in all parts of India. Special festivals associated with the harvest season are as follows. Pongal, celebrated in Tamil Nadu from 14th January to 17th January. People gather around the religious rites and offer their prayers in the form of song and dance. Animals are also given special bath and decorated. Baisakhi, which is celebrated in Punjab on the same day, that is 14th January. People wear beautiful clothes and sing and dance. Numerous dishes are prepared to celebrate the day. Navanya, which is celebrated in West Bengal and Tripura. Religious prayers are offered. People sing, dance, and enjoy. They also prepare different kinds of sweets and dishes. Bihu, which is celebrated in Assam. Morning prayers are followed by dance and song. Storage is the last step. Most crops are harvested once in a year, thus they are available in plenty during the selective season. For getting seasonal food throughout the year, they should be stored in safe storage. They should be protected from moisture, insect, rat, and microorganisms. Grains are stored in granaries. In this picture, you can see that granaries are found in numerous households of farmers. The grains are stored in the gunny bags and kept inside the granary. This is a granary which is found in some of the villages. This is another shape of the granary which we see in many of the villages. Another method of storage is the silos. We can see in many places that government builds big towers, cylindrical towers to store the grains. Before storing in the gunny bags, proper drying of the grain is important to remove any moisture in it. And drying is done by under the sun. People also add a few neem leaves while storing the grains. This helps to protect the grains from pests and insects. Animal husbandry. Animal husbandry is the branch of science dealing with the practice of breeding, farming, and care of farm animals such as cattle, dogs, sheep, and horses by humans for economic gain. It is a branch of agriculture. We can see that the farmers may rear cows and buffaloes for their milk. They can also rear grazing animals or cattle. Pigs may be reared for meat. Poultry may be present for eggs and meat. Fisheries can be also constructed in the agricultural area. The farmers may also rear bees, which is called as apiculture. Students, thank you for watching this video. Happy learning to you. Please do not forget to subscribe, like and share this video.